My name is Carl Hinder, and you're listening to the Good to Go podcast for salon and spa owners who want to grow. The only thing stopping you is you. Stop being average. Welcome to episode 5. This week, I want to talk to you about why you think that average is good. In fact, most people, think average is good. But in your business, it's very, very damaging. Now, if you aspire to be average, then that means you're in the middle. It also means that 49% of people are above you in some way because they're above average, right? Now, we don't think about that, do we? We don't think about it in our business. We don't think about it in our lives. And I know that the University of Warwick say that people overestimate where they are on the average scale, if you like. So we behave in an average way, but we believe that we are above average. And you have to think about it. Average. Who decided that it was good to be average? Who decided that that's going to be an aspiration of mine? I'm going to be average. I'm going to be normal. I'm going to be common, if you know what I mean. So I want you to kind of start with that challenge. Why did I want to be average in the first place? Now, we know why. We know it's because it's safe, right? Because that means that the people around us, generally speaking, most people are not much worse. Most people are not much better. There's going to be very little conflict. It's going to be like a safe zone. But what's that doing to your business? It's creating a huge compromise, and a compromise that sometimes you're not going to be able to break away from. Sometimes you're not going to be able to make any more money. So let me give you an example of how this looks. Now, what I want you to do here is I want you to write this down. I would say pause the podcast and go and write this down and come back, but I know most of you won't do that. So just in case you don't come back, you might have to do this later. What I want you to do is write this down. Why should a client come and visit you? That's the question, okay? Why should someone want to visit your business? Now, write down the answer to that. Write it down. Tell me from the heart what you really, really think the reason that someone should come to you. Now, when you reflect on this, I bet you that you are using at least one of the following words. Maybe more, maybe all of them, or maybe similar ones. So, in that sentence that you wrote down, did you say something along the lines of, you should come to us because we're really friendly. We're a really friendly team. Or something along the lines of, we're very experienced. Or we're really professional. Highly qualified. Or maybe something along the lines of, we've got really high quality products. Or products and services or treatments. Or maybe come to us because we're an award-winning business. Now, I'm not saying that any of those things are wrong. And they are all, highly valuable in your business. But now you got to think about it the other way around. Those words that you just used, everyone is using. And I mean literally almost everyone is using those words about being professional and qualified and friendly and quality. So that makes you average. So you get in the idea of today's podcast? If you sound like everyone else, if you behave like everyone else, and you act like everyone else, then, of course, you are like everyone else. So why does that matter? Well, that matters because the client is now left with very little choice. Whether they come to you or go to your competitor isn't really going to matter that much because the promises from all of you are roughly the same. So if they haven't got much choice when it comes to, the reason to come to you, then they're going to choose you on some other level, aren't they? They're going to choose you probably as a consideration on something along the lines of location, and that's not a bad thing. Or maybe it's on the lines of pricing. Now, here's another area where we behave in a very average way. So most of you will have prices not that dissimilar to your competition. Even if you are the highest priced in your area, you'll be saying to me or yourself, Well, we are the highest, but not by much. Most of you are going to be in the middle. Most of you are going to be in that average category because you don't want to risk upsetting someone, do you? You don't want to be too cheap that people think you're cheap, and you don't want to be too expensive because you think people won't come to you. So you are saying to the client, come to us. Yes, we are like everyone else, and our prices are also very similar to everyone else. So what you're really saying, we're average. You can choose any of us. It really doesn't matter because we're all saying the same thing. And that's where this is leading us. We're talking about being average on price, average in services, average in your message. Because when you get to the point of marketing, you don't have anything to say. So go and take a look at social media. Go and have a look at some other salon platforms and see if you can see anything that's really a lot different to what you're saying. Go and take a look at, the platforms. I bet you'll find lots of other, before and after haircuts or before and after nails and all that kind of thing. You'll probably find a few discount prices, special offers with the therapist or stylist this week. And it's because all of you, most of you, the majority of you are in that average category, and you're making it hard for yourself. And that's what I want to focus you on today. Now, let's have a look at a company that isn't average. I'm picking a random one here. So let's say we were to pick a big brand like Ferrari. Do they say things like, buy our cars, we can get you to work and back? Or do they say, buy our cars because they are great for your family, or buy our cars because they're very reliable and they're very economical. And do you know what? They're affordable. Yeah, our prices are great and they're affordable for all. You see, that's what you are kind of saying. Can you imagine Ferrari saying that? If they were saying that, they wouldn't stand out, would they? So what do they say instead? Well, they say something along the lines of, you should get involved with Ferrari because we want you to be part of the passion. We want you to feel the need for speed. Now, I haven't seen that in their marketing, but hopefully you're getting the idea. But we want you to be part of something very special. They're selling the emotion. They're selling the premium part about what they're doing. They'll say, having a Ferrari shows everyone else how successful you are. Use us to project your life. And price, well, what do they say? We don't talk about price because to Ferrari and to its clients, price isn't important. Nobody's saying that you have to be, the Ferrari of your industry. Many years ago when I had my salons, and I remember getting my team together, those days, there weren't all the leagues that there are now in football or rugby for that matter. There was basically Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, etc. And I used to say to my guys, I want us to be the very top of Division 2 all of the time. I knew I couldn't be Division 1. I knew I wasn't a Ferrari. I knew that in our category, we had to stand out. We had to be the absolute best that we could be in our category. And that's what I'm saying to you. That's a really important point, guys. Not all of you can start doing premium services and tripling your prices and all those kinds of things. But you have to start understanding your place in the marketplace, because if you stay as an average salon, I promise you, you will never, ever, ever be financially successful. And you're making things so hard for yourself. How can you market when you got nothing to market? How can you attract people when you sound like everyone else? So next time you're thinking about where your business is, try not to play it safe, because playing it safe is keeping you average all of the time. And whilst at the beginning I said everyone wants to be average, there isn't enough space for everyone to occupy the same area. You've got to break out. You've got to become well above average. Hopefully at the very top of your category, at the very top of your division. And that's it. Thank you for joining me for the Stop Being Average session on the Salon Help Good to Go podcast. If you need help with this or any other coaching, just drop me a line on info@salon-help.co.uk. Next week, I'm going to be taking a controversial look at the trend of downsizing, getting smaller in your business or leaving the industry altogether. And we're also going to be taking a look at the people who are coming into the industry to take your place. Don't forget to drop into the podcast notes where you can find some useful links on pricing and retail. You can also subscribe, review, and tell the whole world about the Salon Help Good to Go podcast. I look forward to seeing you all on the next episode.